all starting to happen like we said it would. Foreign policy, it's our problem. It's going to be a real problem because of the absolutely failed foreign policy of President Obama. He blew this thing with Aleppo and everything. I don't want to get into all of it now. We've talked about this for literally years when all this, talking about foreign policy being the black swan. Today or yesterday, China picked up one of our drones out of the water out in the South China Sea in international waters. International waters means it's international. Anybody can go there. They just went and did it. It was 50, 60 miles off the coast of China, nowhere near China. They just went and picked it up. They don't care. And this is going to be our problem. And this is my concern. Once again, we have a president-elect who doesn't have an overarching view or theory or belief on foreign policy. And all he wants to do is make deals. Deal here, deal here, deal here, deal here. And our concern is and has been that you just can't make deals in foreign policy because there's ripple effects everywhere. It's not just like in business. You can deal with ripple effects in business. You can't just deal with ripple effects in foreign policy. What happens? What happens if you get tighter, tougher with China? Are they then going to go after the Philippines? Is that going to make Duterte, who's another thug down there, just kills people he calls drug addicts and drug dealers? Is he just going to move farther over to China? Is Japan going to want to really arm up? Because that's what the president-elect wants. One good thing has happened to the president-elect is the Europeans now say they're going to raise their defense to 2%. They're going to pay 2% of their budgets towards defense, which is what they should have done years ago. So they're responding there. But there's only just some responses, and all of a sudden, in 30-some days, we're going to have a new president, and he's going to have to be dealing with this. And it's very concerning. I'm telling you, keep an eye on foreign policy. It's getting worse. Russia flattened Aleppo. Now it's come out, and they've now been honest about that they've had special forces in there, just like they had special forces in Ukraine when they shot down. They did as much as their allies in Ukraine, shot down that civilian airplane over Ukraine. Just killed all these innocent people, and just do this now goes into the same thing in Aleppo. Of course, that should be on President Obama and Secretary of State Kerry. We're going to get into that a little bit later in another video. That's theirs, so they're going to have to live with it, and they can rationalize it all they want. They blew it when President Obama put down that red line and did not cross it. That was it. Aleppo was gone, and all these people, what is it, 500,000 people slaughtered by the butcher of Russia. So we've got this coming on. It's foreign policy's building up. Everybody's excited. The market's excited over this big economy. It looks like the economy could boom. We've been yelling for years on here. Get the cash out. It looks like it's going to be out there. I ain't worried about budgets. We needed money, and it's got to actually be used, and not just on some purported shovel-ready jive. So that starts going out there. That's going to be good. The problem we've got is defense. Donald Trump, I'll tell you this, he's not a dove. And everybody was worried that with Hillary Clinton, all the Democrats kept saying, hey, Hillary is really warlike. She's a hawk. They wouldn't be saying it now. And I'll tell you the ironic thing about all this, and they're going to roll on this, is that if you watch MSNBC and places like that were totally against the United States showing any muscularity in foreign policy, they are now the ones leading the fight against the Russians, alleging the hacking and everything else going on. It's ironic. It ain't a coincidence. It's ironic. But everything's topsy-turvy. It's going to be fun. It's going to work out. But foreign policy is going to be our problem. Keep a close eye on it. Peace.